I'm on a freaking roll today, man. This is like my second video I've edited, and I've made like 4 ICADs, so woohoo! So this is just an index card. It's cheap, like 50 cents for a pack, and this is a scribbly font stamp that I got on clearance. And this is antique linen distress ink. I am making this index card for a friend whose name is Pam, and she said her favorite color is cream. And that made me kind of freak out a little bit because that's not a color in my world. That's an accent, since it's a neutral. So that kind of freaked me out. So I was like, I don't have a color. That's not a color. So so I was giving it a shot. So this is some molding paste that I mixed up with some unbleached titanium acrylic paint. This is an UmWowStudio stencil. UmWow is amazing. It's owned by Dee Catrone, and she also works at Viva Las Vegas Stamps, and she's a friend of mine. She is fantastic. She is an incredible designer, and she makes all of these products. So she designs them, and she makes them. So and they're reasonable. It was $4 for this stencil, and I want to say it's about project life size. It's about 4x6, right around there. So she has a whole bunch of great stuff. She also has chipboard, which I will be using in this video. So since I had a bunch of this mixture on my stencil, I was like, well, let's try to use it up. So I sprayed it, got the reverse on that ICAD, which I also finished that ICAD today.
Okay, so there's a bunch of missing footage here. So I figured I'd take that time to tell you what I did. So I took some walnut stain distress ink, ran it over that embossing paste, or molding paste, whatever you want to call it. And it was, like I said, walnut stain. And sprayed it with water, so then it wicked out onto the actual paper and made it dingy, and made the stars a little dingy. Then I took some of that distress ink in the walnut stain, pounced it onto my craft sheet, took a brush with some water and ran it along the edges of the card, which is why it looks dingy around the corners of the card. And then I took it to the sewing machine, and with a straight stitch went down and then kind of turned the paper as I was going, so it was kind of going like this, and then went backwards and pulled it going another way, and just gave it a really natural, funky, not very natural, but just weird, organic kind of shape to the stitch. So I don't have a like a freeform stitch foot on my machine, so I need to get one. So that is what you've missed, and my apologies for missing it. I looked up at the camera and went, that there were words involved. I'm not going to say them on the YouTube. Here we go.
Well, I looked awful in that clip. I'm blaming it on the lighting, but also something to do with acne. So whatever, 30 and I still can't get past it, so that's fine. So I took a Tim Holtz sticker. My friend is from the great state of Arkansas. So that's Arkansas for those of you who are out of the country. Yeah, I'm just being a dork. So this is some orange liquid acrylic that I mixed up in another video, and I'm splattering it all over those 2 index cards that I made earlier. And I'm trying to figure out placement, deciding what goes where. So I liked this little Arkansas sticker, and it helped me decide what color to add as an accent to this cream. And as you can see, there's all the stitching, which I really love the stitching on this card. I'm going to be using that technique again. So this was some Fabri-Tac that I glued down the moth and license plate with. This is more UmWowStudio. This is chipboard and their little chevron. This is called Chevron Confetti. The stencil I was using is called Star Confetti. I also have a couple of other stencils by Dee from UmWow, and one of them is a chevron, lines of chevron, and then the other one is another type of confetti, hexagon confetti. It's the name of the stencil. So I have hexagon confetti chipboard and the chevron confetti chipboard. That doesn't even make sense in my head anymore. I can't even say those words anymore. So go check out UmWowStudio.com, UmWowStudio.com. studio.com. So what I did here was I painted these white, then I painted them with a little bit of the unbleached titanium, and then just a little bit of walnut stain just to darken them up. So I took them from a chipboard color to a chipboard color. That's a technique you don't see every day. So you saw it today. It is different. It's a lot lighter. So, and it matches the background really well. So I took a little bit more of the Fabri-Tac and I'm gluing these down. These little chevron pieces. I love this chipboard. It's great. And she laser cuts it, so it's all really, really precise. It's great. These are Tim Holtz rubons, and one said Embrace Imperfection, and I figured since this is going to someone, this is essentially a gift to someone. I figured I might as well say Imperfection since it's coming from ImperfectImpulses. So, clever. Using the back end of an X-Acto knife just to rub the rub-on in place, and then just using the blade to lift up the plastic. So that was easy. So I took a little bit of Stabilo. This is the inevitable part where I go off frame, which is why you missed that whole part, because you couldn't see it. So I just went around the whole butterfly or moth or whatever it is. I'm not an entomologist or proctologist. What are they called? I don't know. Whatever. The butterfly people, insect people. I went around it with the all pencil, and then just a little bit with my water brush, and a little bit of black archival ink around the edges just to tie everything in together. And poof! Look at that! I'm in love with this ICAD. I'm gonna have a hard time giving it away, but I know it's going to someone who will like it, hopefully, and I at least appreciate it if nothing else. So hope you guys liked it. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, all that jazz. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.